Hey Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears.
Welcome to the Sic Em Podcast. Elise McGhee, senior for Baylor. Lauren Briseño, senior for Baylor. From both of you from San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, what was the path? What was the draw to get to Baylor, Elise?
For me, my sister played here as well, and so I got to kind of experience Baylor from that perspective before like coming on an official visit and like seeing how much she loved it. And I just fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the coaching staff and the players and just like who Coach Mack recruits. And so it really was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I visited here first, went on like 4 other visits, and was like, nothing compares to Baylor, so I have to go there.
Oh, I'd like to hear that.
Yes.
Part of it, I'm sure, was Kara being here.
Yes.
But she not been here, or had she not been here, Baylor would have been.
I still loved Baylor. Honestly, when I was getting recruited, I did not want to go to the same school as my sister. I was like, I need my own path. I need to make my own kind of decisions. And I'm so glad I ended up coming here anyways, because playing with Kara was truly such a blessing.
That's cool.
Sure.
I can see that. I've heard that from siblings. I've heard that from twins, where at some point, they want to kind of chart their own course.
Yes.
But we're glad you ended up here.
Yes, I am.
Lauren, how about you?
Yeah, so my recruiting process, I think for me, I just really narrowed down just wanting to stay into Texas. I wanted to be closer to home and just go to a program where I knew that I was going to be the best version of myself. The staff was going to challenge me, and I, same as Elise, just fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the coaches, and just really felt a good community and a good family here. Both being from San Antonio, like we both committed super early, but like Elise was the first to commit, and so it was always like Elise McGhee like committed to Baylor, and I was like, I kind of want to check that out too. Like we knew each other just like through club, and so Elise kind of paved the way for that.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah.
So y'all obviously played against each other before Baylor,
yes.
right? How often?
Honestly, not very often,
Okay.
but the clubs that we played for were kind of rival clubs.
Oh,
so
there you
it was,
go.
Yeah. But yeah, so not very often, but sometimes we get a chance.
I like that. Very good. And growing up, so let's go back a little further. Was it always volleyball for you? Did you play other sports growing up?
My parents did a great job of kind of allowing me to try pretty much every sport. So for the longest time, basketball was a sport I wanted to play. I did club basketball and I loved it. And then my sister started playing volleyball, and so naturally I just had to copy everything that she does. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that too. And then that was kind of around like 12, 13th year. And I stopped playing basketball and just kept playing volleyball after that.
Gotcha. Very good. How about you?
So I started off in ballet for a while, but it was just my sister did ballet. I have an older sister, and so she did it, and so my mom just naturally put me in it, and I absolutely hated it. It was just not competitive whatsoever. I just dreaded going, and then I got into swimming. I absolutely loved swim. That was my passion for a while. I would always say as a little girl, like I wanted to go to the Olympics for swimming, and then my older sister started playing volleyball. And I was just watching her, and I think I just really fell in love with just the team aspect of the game, and it was something that I really wanted to be a part of. And so I got into volleyball, I just fell in love with it, and I just was in love with it ever since, and I knew that I wanted to play college volleyball one day.
Nice. Were you pretty competitive swimmer?
Yeah, I was pretty good just for my age and
Right.
how young I was. And I just loved like being in the water, and I loved like Michael Phelps was like somebody that I looked up to like all the time watching the Olympics. But yeah, volleyball is my sport.
Nice. Very good. Convergent paths, that both end up playing volleyball.
Yes.
Speaking of the Olympics, how about Avery Skinner, who you both played with, right? You played with her here. How about watching her win a silver medal at the Olympics this summer?
It was just so impressive. I had a really cool opportunity playing at doing more USA training with the collegiate national team in Anaheim, and we were alongside with the senior national team. And so I got to go grab coffee with Avery before they left, and just hearing her story, hearing her process, finding out how she found out that she had made the roster was so cool. And I just like broke into tears because I was just super close with her, and I was so happy that she got the opportunity to go to Paris, and just really congratulating her for all of her successes. But it was really, really amazing watching her play.
Nice. Wasn't that fun?
Yes. Avery's character is truly awesome, and the way that she trains is so inspiring, for sure.
And she was one of the younger players on Team USA, right?
Yes.
But she played really well. She was one of their leaders, it seemed like.
Yes.
How great was that to watch the Olympics and somebody you know is there and, you know, competing at that high level? And wasn't that great?
Yes. I was watching and I was like, oh my gosh, Avery, like just so excited for her. And like, it's so crazy that she's representing our country right now, and that 4 years ago, I used to play with her and just like know her personally. It was super cool. Yeah.
Right. And didn't she come to your match recently at Rice?
Yes.
She showed up there?
She actually, we finished the match.
Okay.
Because it was a sweep.
Right.
So I think she probably thought we finished a little bit earlier than maybe she intended. Yeah. And so I get a text from her, and she's like, hey, like, I'm coming to your match. Like, I'm driving there right now. And like Coach Mac, after like matches, we're like, okay, we have a set time. We're leaving here. Like, we want to get on the road because it's late. Like, we want to get home. And so he was like 8:15, like hard, like we're leaving. And I was like, oh my gosh, she just texted me. She's getting here in like 10 minutes. She's like, I'm going to be there at 8:25. And I'm just like freaking out. And so I was talking to Coach Mac and talking to Coach Walker, and I'm like, can we please hold the bus?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see her. And so sure enough, they did. And so she like kind of surprised us when we got onto the bus, and it was just such a sweet moment. She brought her medal, and it's actually so much heavier than I thought it was. It is heavy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is so heavy. And so she just spoke words of wisdom to us, and yeah, it was really good to see her.
That is so cool to have her show up. I'll admit something to you. When I watch the Olympics, I mean, it's there's that passion. I mean, the American pride, and you want the Americans to do well. And then when it's somebody that you know, like Avery, it's just that much better. I mean, I cry when I see him up on the victory stand. I mean, isn't it just kind of like the pinnacle of competing and competition to win a medal at the Olympics?
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like, honestly, also just last year when I was competing for USA in Mexico, just like, there is nothing more just exciting, or just that moment where you feel like you've made it when you hear your own country's national anthem, and like you're just standing there like with your hand on your heart. Like, it like honestly brought me to tears. Like, the first match I was able to represent my country, and so I can't even imagine just what's going on in Avery's mind, like competing for the Olympics, you know, for a gold medal, and just sitting in that opportunity is something that's just so special to watch.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you were there just last year, right? It was a Pan Am Cup, but y'all won the gold medal, and they're playing the national anthem, and you're standing there. How did you handle that?
Absolutely. I like shed a tear. I'm not going to lie. Yes. My father is always just like so proud of his country, and I think he's done a really good job of just leading that way for me. And just, he always tells me like duty, honor, sacrifice, like, you take care of your duty, you know, you're sacrificing yourself like for your country, and like you're here to honor your country as well. And so I think just having my dad just be that representation for me, and just being able to play for a gold medal for my country is just something that is so incredible. So,
so great. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
What about, would you ever like to have the opportunity to do some international competition?
I've considered it a lot.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm like weighing the pros and cons of, especially as my sister does it and she loves it. I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome. You get to travel and see the world from like a different light and play different people. So I've considered it, but I still haven't fully made up my mind. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but still in the process of thinking of it.
So Kira's doing that right now?
Yeah, she's actually in France right now playing for their team and doing professional in that way. So
very good. Hope she does well over there.
Me too.
All right, let me ask you this way. How prevalent was the faith aspect of Baylor? And Coach McGuire, we know how he runs the program here. How much of a factor was that?
It was one of the biggest factors, I felt like, just because of the way Coach Matt carries himself, and growing up in a Christian home, I knew that was something that I wanted to be able to incorporate into my volleyball career and to my academic career as well. And so knowing that Coach Mack truly prioritizes that really drew me to Baylor. And one thing I talk about a lot is you go to Waco, you go to a coffee shop, and like you can see people doing Bible studies there. And I just have always loved that about Waco, it being a small town. So I really, really enjoyed that about Baylor.
Great.
Yeah, I think for me, just with my recruiting process, I knew that I wanted to play volleyball. Like that is like the end goal for me. And so I think like the faith aspect drew me to Baylor as well, but it was more that like volleyball aspect and that athletic component. I grew up in a Christian home as well, but I think just like being here at Baylor, I didn't realize how important it would be to me. And I think that there have just been so many like bits and pieces or just like people that I feel that Christ is like speaking through to me, just being here at Baylor. And I think that all of these opportunities that I'm getting is just, I am just so thankful for my teammates and the coaching staff. And I think that they have just poured so much into me and just where I am at in my faith. I didn't know how much of a blessing that it would be. And so I'm really grateful for just the faith aspect and just Coach Mac, how he leads our program and just his ability to recruit like with our culture and just able to add to that. And so, yeah, it truly is a blessing for sure.
That's good. That's a great story. I mean, you came here to play volleyball, number one, but then you can do both here. You can do all of it here. You know, the 4 pillars that we talk about, you can do all of that. And I'm not speaking for you, but I would think you leave a better person having gone through that during your time at Baylor.
Absolutely.
Yes, I completely agree. Getting baptized by Coach Mac at the beginning of this year was like such an amazing experience. But if you would have told me that freshman year that would be happening, I would probably not have believed you. And so I think even just looking back the past couple of months, I feel like I've changed so much as a person and grown so much as a person. And I truly don't think I would be the same person if I had gone anywhere else. And truly Baylor is just the best place for me. I like 100% believe that.
Yeah, I 100% would agree with that as well. And I am so thankful for my teammates because I feel like I always give so much gratitude to Faith because I don't think I would be where I am just in my faith and my walk with Christ if it wasn't for her. And I think just their ability to pour into me and just my continuing this path just closer and closer to Christ in my walk in my faith. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for my team.
Yeah, that's great. And we can talk about it and it's encouraged, you know, it's not like some other places, maybe it'd be taboo or something to even talk about that. But not only we talk about it, but we share it, you know, and want to share that story. Being baptized, how was that experience?
It was so awesome. I had talked about it for a while and like never really finalized any plans. Right. And then me and Bree were talking about it and we're like, okay, we really want to do this. And she brought up having Coach Mac do it. And I had also always planned that. I'd never communicated that to him, but he was the person I wanted to do it. So then she kind of really asserted herself and was like, hey, we're going to do it and we're going to plan it out. And it truly was such an emotional and joy-filled time because my family was there, Bree's family was there, and then we had old teammates, like current teammates. Bray was there, Nicole there. Like it was truly such a special experience, and to feel so loved by the people you're closest to and the people you spend every day with was something special for sure.
Boy, I can see that. How about Coach Mac? How is it? Y'all been here for a while, playing with him, under him. Does he ever break out the swords?
Every now and then.
He does?
He did last year. We all got to pick swords.
Oh, really?
Last year. Yes.
I didn't know if they just stayed on the wall all the time or if he ever brought them out to make a point.
Yes, he brought them out. So we had like our beginning of the year meeting and he like assigned everyone a sword, like, and it was like, I don't know. Mine was the Mandalorian, and so like he had like the Mandalorian sword, and so everyone got one, and there were so many, and that was
that's great.
Yeah.
What I remember when I discovered that was kind of his thing, his collection, which is pretty cool.
Yes,
it's fun to see.
I did not know he had that many until he had them all lined up, and I was like, you might have an issue. I don't know.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Because the ones in his office, he's got a lot more than those.
Yes.
Right. That's just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
The display.
Yeah.
We didn't know there were like 20 of them.
Oh
quite
my
a
gosh.
few. Yes.
That's good. Is there usually a motivational message that goes with each sword?
Yes, mine was kind of renewment and like born again type of thing. It was a sort of Aragon from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And so he did have a message with each of them, which I thought was super special, and which is how he chose like this goes with this person, this goes with this person. And so I liked that he knew probably too many things about each sport, but he knew all of them.
Yeah. And shows how much he knows you, inside and out also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, that is great.
For sure.
Yes.
What about off the floor, away from volleyball? Elise, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I have a dog, so I like to take him.
Wait, is this Stanley?
This is, yes, Stanley.
Is that right,
yes.
Stanley?
Yeah.
I've heard about Stanley.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's so cute, and he truly is just the cutest thing ever, so I enjoy taking him on walks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably what I do the most. Besides studying and being at the library, I would say taking him on walks and just like hanging out with friends. Me and Lauren are roommates with two other teammates, and so just going downstairs, cooking together, doing whatever is always just like small bonding times that can have big impacts, I feel like.
What kind of dog is Stanley?
He's a basset hound.
Oh, yes. That's great.
He's stocky, a little chubbier, low to the ground.
Now, did he come with you to school, or did you get him since you've been here?
No, I got him as a sophomore. I got him as a puppy.
Nice.
And so it was definitely rough, I will say, at the beginning, but he truly is just the best. And he follows me everywhere. So I'm like, I can't do anything alone anymore. But
that's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Teaches you responsibility
yes.
in that
yes.
respect.
Yeah.
Lauren, how about you off the court?
Yes. So, well, first of all, I literally love having Stanley in the house. Elise just moved in May. And so this is my first time living with a dog. And so waking up in the morning and seeing Stanley and just his tail is like a whip. You have to be so careful.
Right.
And whenever Elise leaves the house, he's crying. And
oh, man.
She's coming back. She was literally going to be here in 2 seconds. But so yeah, love living with Stanley. Some things that I like to do in my free time. I actually took a tennis class in the spring.
Okay.
So I learned how to play tennis. It was so fun.
Uh-huh.
So I have my own racket. I love playing tennis. I love playing pickleball. So those are just kind of some active things that I like to do. I love running. Yeah. I did not enjoy running at all a year ago, but it's something that I've really gotten into. And I think also while I'm running, just listening to spiritual music, motivation like that, just filling my cup of Jesus every time I'm doing it is something that is new and something that I've learned is good for me. And so that's just some more things that I like to do.
Very good. Who are the other two teammates that live with you?
Brie and Sophia.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so Stanley's it's your dog, but it's kind of everybody's dog, isn't it?
I'll go in there and he'll be on Sophia's bed and Sophia's hanging out with him. And Brie's like, can I take Stanley? I'm like, you're stealing my dog from me? What? Oh, yes. They're all dog people, so it works out really well.
He never lacks for getting walks.
No, he does not.
That's cool.
No.
Good. And we'll take care of Stanley.
Yes.
It sounds like he's very well cared for.
Yes.
So that's fun. Beyond Baylor, do y'all think about that? Your seniors, do you think about
Yes.
Do you talk about it?
I have been thinking about it quite a bit. I'm pre-PA, so I'm applying to PA school at the moment. So doing that over the summer was a little stressful, trying to figure out okay, where do I want to go? Is this what I want to do? So that is my plan. But of course I talked about playing professionally. I could do that at the end of the day, or get a job, take a gap year. So something in that realm, but it's kind of open for whatever I want to do at this point. Yeah.
What does that path for PA look like?
So it's about 2 years of school. You do an hour of kind of lecture type schooling, and then a year of lecture type schooling. And then you do your last year doing clinicals and getting hands-on experience in that aspect. And it can look different per school you go to, but that's kind of the majority.
Gotcha. Very good. Lauren, how about you?
So I graduate in December. So I'm really wanting to play professionally.
Okay.
Just being a libero, my opportunities are a little bit more limited, but I would really love to play overseas. I know that there's some American leagues now, which is incredible. But I think for me, just my rookie season, I really want to be in France or Germany. I think that I could get more opportunities there, and just both beautiful countries that I would love to see. And so right now I'm currently just trying to look for agents and have some sort of communication. I've been talking to Avery Skinner. She's been helping me out a lot just with just kind of getting my name out there with agents. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Great. She's in Italy. Is she playing in Italy again?
Yes, she will be leaving Italy very soon.
Gotcha. So. Speaking of Europe, y'all had that tour this past summer. How great was that?
It was so awesome. It truly was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I feel like I've made a million memories, just doing stupid stuff, laughing and then going down for coffee with everyone, and just being in a different country and experiencing things that we can't really have in Waco or America was so awesome. And as close as we all are, our whole team, I feel like everyone got to hang out with different people on different days. And so maybe people that were new on our team, I feel like we got closer and bonded in ways that we wouldn't have had we not done the trip. And to have all the pictures taken, all the videos done, it was so awesome.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, we all loved it.
Right.
Just every single day. We were there for 12 days, but it felt like we were there for a lifetime, and also not at the same time. Like, we all wanted to stay so badly, but just experiencing different cultures, different foods, languages, and trying to learn to adapt. I think that was good for me, since I want to be overseas. It's just like trying to learn how to communicate with people that don't speak English. And then also just the volleyball component, just, you know, having that, you know, European competition and just seeing what volleyball looks like overseas. And that was something that was really cool for me as well, just wanting to play overseas. So.
Hungary, Slovenia, Italy, what another country?
Austria.
Austria.
Yes.
So what was your favorite? Favorite spot or favorite country? Or
I would say Slovenia. We stayed at this very pretty hotel, and who was a famous NBA player from there? Djokovic. Is that who the of? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. He was from there, so we were all talking about it. But it was like this cute little town. And so we were like at the top of the hill. That was where we did our little slide thing all the way down. And like we could walk down into the town, which I did a few times. And like we got to experience people that were like little kids getting off from the school bus, which is super fun and super exciting. And they had really great ice cream. That was a big thing from there. The ice cream was awesome. But getting able to like really feel like I was a part of their culture and like see what everyday kids do was super awesome. And the food was great. The food was really great from there, I will say.
What was your favorite part?
So I'm a city girl.
Okay.
So I loved Milan.
Okay.
Milan was like my spot. Just the food, like, and just all the shopping is just, that was my scene.
Okay.
And just, you know, being able to dress up and like being in Lake Como. Lake Como is also really pretty. And so, I would say Milan. And then I also loved Vienna. Vienna was also a really good shopping spot. So.
Very good. Okay, this all makes sense now. You have a dog named Louis Vuitton. So this all makes sense now. You're talking about the shopping and City Girl and all that.
Yes.
Is that right, Louis Vuitton?
Yes.
Okay,
Louis.
it's all coming together now. Yep. And I have seen with other sports, you know, teams that go on this tour, foreign tour, the bonding, like you mentioned, that takes place, it really pays dividends in the season, you know? Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, I mean, I was having a conversation with Nicole and talking about their 2019 season when they took their trip to Kenya, and Nicole was like, that was the biggest bonding experience that we had ever had. And then we went and took, like our team went to the Final Four. And so it's just like seeing them pave the way and that team. And it honestly just like is an inspiration to us because we took our foreign tour, and I feel like so many incredible things have been happening for us just as the season has been continuing. And so I'm just so excited to see what the future holds for us.
Nice. Very good.
I completely agree. My sister went on that trip and she loved it and talked about how much bonding they did.
It pays off. I mean, so we're excited to see what happens, you know, as y'all continue. You're off to a great start to this season. Where is your favorite location to go to playing, Big 12 or otherwise?
I would say probably recently BYU. We had an interesting experience there. It was very crowded, which I think always makes the environment super fun, despite it like obviously being opposing people, but the loud excitement of the arena, as well as someone got proposed to during our game. Yes, last week we were there. So I would say there for sure.
I would say mine. I love playing at Kansas. They have a really good gym. I feel like it's very compact. It's small, so they're able to fill it really well, and they have TerraFlex, which is always really nice. Also, I'm excited to go back to Houston. We went the spring of our freshman year when we had graduated early, and I remember like bits and pieces of it, but I just remember loving like the layout and how the arena is and just how they're able to fill it. And then they also have TerraFlex, so that's such a plus. But so I'm excited to go there again.
Good. Well, you've got TerraFlex now. Here in the Farrell Center.
Yes.
How big of a step up is that?
It is a huge step up. Right. It's so much better just for our bodies. I feel like for our bodies, honestly, like the impact isn't as heavy, especially like when we're jumping up and down rather than being on like hard wood. And also just for me, like whenever I'm diving on the floor, like the bruising is not nearly as bad, which is so nice. And so I feel like I'm able to cover a lot more ground.
Good for you, because you're on the floor a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yes.
Is it a real plus?
Yes, I would say during double days I noticed it the most. Previous years I'd be like, I can't jump anymore. My legs hurt so bad. But having the Terraflex, I was like, I feel fine, and I'm older now, so like, okay, like I'm senior and I still feel great. But I agree with Lauren too. Like the diving, you can go so much farther, and I feel like on hardwood you kind of get stuck and it's not as easy to move. So I definitely would say that's a plus.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, continued success. Like I said, you're off to a great start to your senior seasons, and hope you go out with a bang this year and then move on into whatever life looks like after Baylor. But thank you all for visiting with us, and continued success to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.